primary ignition.
Hi, I'm Yeleni Kushin. I played Varys Offee in Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones, and you're watching the Virtual Cantina Network.
Hey!
Hey!
100! Woo!
Happy Monday, Rebels fam.
We have 100 guests.
Close enough.
Better get started now.
If you count all our, favorite characters in Star Wars, sure, we have 100 guests. At least. Oh, my goodness.
Are we ready?
Yeah, got so much going on. Hey, we got Jeff.
So much to talk about.
Yes. Oh, my
Yes.
gosh. Here we go.
And
Hey,
Jeff.
Jeff. It's Jeff.
Yay!
Not the disembodied voice.
Okay.
Join in a little bit here.
Yeah. Thanks.
There we go.
Bring up that
We
Google
dip
Doc.
Mark in water and they multiply like gremlins. Thank you, Spencer.
So that's the other thing. So, in your capacity as an admin in here as well, you can click on and off the comments as well. There, Ashley. So, if there's anything that doesn't get, grabbed by me, you can always bring it up as well.
Sure.
One of the benefits.
So, welcome everybody to our 100th episode of Rebels Revisited. Wow. Can you believe we've been doing this for almost 2 years?
We're like 2 weeks short
been
of
a while.
2 years.
Yeah. Oh,
That just
so
doesn't
good
seem
to have
possible. And it was only just a year ago that you guys started with StreamerYard,
Yeah.
But it feels like it's been this way forever,
Yeah.
Definitely an improvement. I'm glad we switched because trying to wrangle Zoom was never pleasant.
No, that's
And
hard.
the resolution was always sketchy, and
Yeah.
we was edited
Great ever since.
Thanks.
Freeze up.
Yeah.
Well, we still have issues where internet can be spotty depending on where
Yeah.
you are. So sometimes in here we get little freezies and lag or audio cutout or whatever, but it's much more consistent than Zoom ever was. So we're all
That is true.
And it's so
Pleasant.
pretty. Amazing graphics.
Mhm.
It all
Thank
looks great.
That's one of the benefits is being able to update the look a lot more to our liking.
Yes, David says Zoom with this many people would have been crazy.
Oh my.
Turn it on, off, back
Melting
on again.
down. Yeah, exactly.
Bring it
That's,
in, out,
that's crazy times. So, in case you guys haven't noticed, I have some special guests with me tonight, and Jeff.
I'm not special.
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
Yes,
You
you
are-
are, Jeff.
I was about to say, and Jeff is central to this. He's always been our man in the chair, so we felt it only appropriate to have him on the screen today.
That was the benefit of Zoom, though. I could be in my hot tub chilling. And I don't get that option here in StreamYard, unfortunately. But, I'm still like
requires
my
you
little
to
window. I'm poking my head through the
On
back
dry
window.
lands. Yes. Need to be on dry land. Yeah.
So I have, because Mark is away on his assignment for his other job in Las Vegas.
Oh, poor fella.
work.
Yeah,
That's
sounds
work.
terrible. I am joined by Ski Prockle. Skip is with us today. And yes, because Harrison said so, Ski Prockle. And our Star Wars Rebels super fans been here with us from the beginning. Miss Sarah and Sherry.
Hi.
Ladies.
Luck them out of the office.
That's right. Thanks for having us.
Get to have a
Yes.
face with the name as opposed to just seeing you in the chat.
Hmm.
Not that we didn't know what you, well, some of us didn't know what you looked like already, but it's always nice to equate those two.
So
Well, Sarah's picture always had something in front of her
Yes.
face.
Yeah.
But now we
My
actually
camera.
see what she looks like.
I know. To have to do this all night, right?
Dave's impressed by your garb, which is cool. I unfortunately have nothing even Star Wars related.
Yes.
I have garb, and I should have thrown my garb on.
Mm.
He's
Oh, well.
slipping.
Bridget
He's
is too
slipping,
busy
Ski.
shaking her head at it. Like,
Oh,
no.
she's like, she goes, I've seen this. She goes, but then to hold it and see it, she's like, oh. I was like, well, I'm going to wear it tomorrow to see how many responses, how many people will catch the fact that it's, the line from Obi-Wan Kenobi. Well, of course I know. It's me.
Mhm. That was the whole thing. Was your sort of celebrity, as it were, and kind of playing off of that with the
my peon status.
Of course.
Mhm.
It's elevating your status. You get your own
Yes.
shirt now.
Scooby
Yeah.
from the
Yeah. Thanks, Scooby.
Scooby.
That's awesome.
So
So
I
what
thought we
happened
were
for
going to get a
everybody this
little
week?
bit of content from Mark, but I don't think I ever got anything from him.
He didn't send you
He's
a
having
video.
too much fun in Vegas.
Mark is doing Vegas, and we know what that means.
I didn't
Yeah.
see anything, but if you happen to have a link that you can forward me, I can always
No,
try to
I
bring it
thought
up.
he would send it to you, but it's okay. We
You
miss
know.
him. We know he's
You
here.
can come back next week and talk all about it.
Absolutely.
The inmates will run the asylum for tonight.
Exactly.
Yep, on the boss's way. Yep.
There you go.
You know how it goes.
Mhm.
Yeah. So,
So-
it's. Oh, go ahead.
So for preparation tonight, I went back and watched the very first episode
Me
Nice.
too.
of Rebels
Oh,
Revisited.
wow.
It was right after Celebration Anaheim, and Mark was talking about how he wanted to make this a group show, and then you guys also talked about the Ahsoka panel then, and how it made it very clear that Rebels was still very important to Star
Yeah.
Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
That was-
very apparent at that point that Rebels was
Mhm.
going to be a big thing in the future of Star Wars again. So
Hmm.
And the
And
best
he was-
part is, like, these are things that we've loved for so long, independent of Ahsoka, and the fact that it's like managed to pull in all these fans and make Rebels relevant again is just insanely huge to me.
I agree. And I there's still that little sad part of my heart that it's not bigger now than it was before. Like, it should never have been out of relevance,
Exactly.
in my
Right.
personal
Mhm.
opinion. And I'm still just flabbergasted by the number of people that can't or won't watch Rebels. And I'm like, but it's so good. You're missing something
You're
really
missing it.
amazing here. Give it a shot. Give it a
I
shot.
yeah,
don't know
I mean,
why
you may
they
not
do.
like an episode here or there, but you need to
Mhm.
sit through a good batch of, they're only
Mhm.
20 minutes. It's like, how
Yeah.
much in time investment is it really there? You could watch 3
Mhm.
episodes in an hour, and likely that you're going to like 2 out of the 3. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
if not all
Agree.
3.
It makes it, if you watched Ahsoka, and there's so many things that in Ahsoka that call back to Rebels,
Oh, it was some Rebel season.
and it's
5.
like you would know all the subtle things that are there.
Well, they've made Filoni, head honcho number one, and his schooling was at the hamstrings of Mr. Lucas. So
Yeah,
he's
of
got about a direct, it's like sticking one right in the vein. His education comes right from the master.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
So his Star Wars is very Star Wars, and the quality of the material that comes from him is very George-esque. So you take all that and then you start looking at what's happening in the future, and all of it's got his fingerprints on it. Ahsoka was as we all know, was, as Jeff just said, almost like season 5 of Rebels. It was using
Yeah.
all those characters, making all those references,
Mhm.
doing all those. Everybody who liked Ahsoka would definitely love Rebels. Bringing in even the Ahsoka character into it, all that wonderful stuff. So it's you'd be stupid
I
not
agree
to
with
watch
Scoop.
Rebels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It could have easily been a live action season of Rebels if they
Oh,
wanted
yeah.
to do it
Yeah.
that way.
Mhm.
I kind of
Yes.
wish they didn't, like, as much as I love Ahsoka, I really wish that they didn't call it Ahsoka, because I find that as we've gone over in other shows, it's extremely limiting to all the
Mhm.
characters involved on the show. And
Mhm.
Yeah, I found that the same with the Book of Boba Fett. I mean, there was
Yeah.
There was so
episodes
much more
Boba
to
Fett
it.
wasn't in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some
for
other
sure,
Well, I
The
think-
some other
Mandalorian.
Mando type person was in a lot of those episodes as the main focus.
Yeah, that one guy. Yeah. Well, and I
That-
think that's why it's so important that we need to continue to support Filoni's involvement in his work in what he does, because
Mhm.
if that's the kind that we like, if we are interested in George-esque Star Wars,
Mhm.
that's where we're going to get it
He's-
from.
He's got his finger on the vein, as it were,
Mhm.
on the
And I
pulse.
love bringing in new peoples and ideas and new perspectives and new writers and everything. But then I think it's
Yeah.
also really easy to have stuff veer off course and go
Yeah.
way out of field, And
JJ
so,
Abrams.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I agree with what Dave said too, that people are that way about animation, and that's kind of
Exactly.
that's a salty little hill I'm gonna die on, because I am
Oh,
a
girl.
huge
Yes.
huge fan of animation, and I get feisty when people start.
Well,
I've
we've
had
noticed in the chat over the last,
a little bit. I mean, if only you were paying
You-
attention, it wasn't real obvious.
100
But
episodes.
I've thrown down in all the social medias, discords, everything, and it's just I can't
kinda
I
crazy.
can't not do it. I can't not say it. Yeah.
That's right, Dave.
It
Yeah.
was Mando's like 2.9 basically right before the start of season 3. Really,
Has anyone checked in on Cobb
Longverse.
Vanth? Is he okay? That's what I
Well,
felt
Well,
like.
that guy's been in a cooler for a long time. We got to get
Yeah.
that man out.
he's in the
Yeah.
box tank. Yeah.
Oh,
Give him a
happening.
life.
One of the things I found amusing was how many people were lost from the Book of Boba Fett reuniting Mando and Grogu. Because
Yeah.
if you just watched Mando and went from season 1, 2, and 3, there was a connection there where they came back together after they had been separated, and it didn't happen in that show. So,
Well, and they had to spend so much time at the beginning of season 3 backtracking and filling
Right.
everybody in for what they didn't
Yeah.
watch. And I will say that's probably my biggest frustration with the new style or the storytelling method, I guess, from the new live action shows, is that because they have 6, 7, 8 episodes or whatever, they don't tell you anything up front. They don't show anything. You're just left scratching your head and going, what in the world is happening? And they don't tell you anything until like episode 8. And by then I'm just annoyed. Then I'm just
Yeah.
really annoyed. And
I
so I
mean-
have to go back and rewatch the whole show, not being annoyed.
Mhm.
Exactly. And that's the tricky part with this.
Going,
because-
what is happening? Why are you not telling me anything? Yeah.
with a lot of things that we're like, obviously Ahsoka, in the 2 years that we have been on the air, we've had some amazing things happen, not only in pop culture and having all these new actors playing characters that we love, like Mary Elizabeth Winstead playing her, and Syndulla, Natasha Liu Bordizza, which oh my God, those ladies are spot on, in my
Yes.
humble opinion, for those characters. And as well as Amon Esfandi, like, this guy is Ezra Bridger as an adult, like,
And
like,
he's totally embraced it.
absolutely. He I guess they posted on Sideshow picture of Ivana Satno and Amon playing with the Hot Toys figures of
Oh yeah,
Thrawn and Sabine and stuff. And I was like, where's the Ezra Bridger figure Hot Toys? And he liked my comment. And I'm like, yes!
Oh,
So I was really excited about that.
validation.
Absolutely. But it's just been so cool to see all these things come back to life. And also, like, Lars Mikkelsen making the jump from live action Thrawn, from voice Thrawn to live action Thrawn. Like, I couldn't, it's everything that I wanted. Like, there's no one else that could have been that man. And
Yeah.
Not for me. Not
I
for me.
couldn't imagine anyone else.
Mhm.
Yes.
It's
Yes,
nice
I
when
will
they
remind
have
him
this-
on in Boston, Spencer. Thank you.
It's nice when they have that spot on kind of casting where it's like after that you're like, who else could have done it?
Yeah.
It's obviously that was the right choice.
But we've also had things kind of slip from Rebels into other shows that we love, like The Bad Batch, having Caleb Doom / Kanan Jarrus, and Harrison Dula, Cham Syndulla, Chopper.
That was good. I liked that
Delaney.
storyline.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really liked that part.
Yes, Clancy Brown making the jump into live action as well as Ryder Azadi. That was the first time I lost my mind.
Yeah.
That show. It's like 3 a.m. and I'm like, yes.
I was doing that Leonardo DiCaprio meme when I saw him. I'm sitting there pointing at the TV like, that's him, that's him.
Sherry was all of us. It's been so freaking cool. And then to just, completely lost the ish. It's just gone out the window. But I have that in the Bad Batch as well. And then Tales of the Jedi, bringing in bits of Ahsoka and the growth of Ahsoka that we didn't get to see, while she was away between Clone Wars and Rebels. It's like filling in the gaps, and I think that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I actually liked what they did better with Tales of the Empire better. I was surprised at how well I responded to that show. I was actually a little uncomfortable with some of the things, some of the retconning they did.
With Ahsoka,
Tales
Yeah,
of the Jedi,
so-
it really stuck in a tough spot for me. And Dooku as well. He's just not one of my favorites, and I was, I nearly lost it when he was sitting there in the middle of the Jedi Temple blaming them for Qui-Gon's death and claiming that's the reason he's leaving. I was like doing that Stitch meme where I'm like trying to claw my own eyes out. Just like, but I was surprised. I didn't think I'd like Tales of the Empire at all. And I was like, okay, I was really pleased. I think they're kind of, and again, that's why it's like, I think it's important to voice our interests and our concerns and our love for this kind of stuff, because I feel like they heard and they were more careful with things like Ventress being introduced at season 3 of Bad Batch, as opposed to what they did with Caleb, and, how they handled Barriss Offee and Morgan Elspeth and things like that. I think that's great. Yeah. I'm seeing improvement, and hopefully it only gets better from here. So,
well, we say a lot here in Rebels Revisited, and I'm not here enough to be able to really claim this, but Barriss had her redemption story in Tales of the Empire, which I thought was spectacular. I was like, here she gets the story that she needs to, and comes.
I could hear Mark from New York going, yes.
The healer,
totally fine.
Well, and I loved that it was literally a parallel storyline, for both women. They suffered similar tragedies and had similar initial reactions to it, but then their paths diverged quite a bit.
Absolutely.
Morgan just doubled down and made it worse, and we saw what ended up to her, and what her fate was. And Barriss, on the other hand, Tales of the Gungan. Yeah. It was actually really nice.
Jar Jar Boss Nass.
That'd be good. I'd like that. Oh, and the Captain Tarbors, is that his name? Yeah, I think we should have him too. Tarpals, that's what it was.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh man. That'd be one thing where it's like, I didn't ask for this.
Yeah, that would be interesting. For sure. I saw a live action script read basically of episode 1 last night, with a bunch of notables taking up roles.
Nice.
And one of the things that they did, which was really, really funny, was first off, Jar Jar was voiced by the heir apparent voice actor Eric Bauza, who is basically Mel Blanc in a different body.
Bugs Bunny.
Yeah. So he did Daffy Duck as Jar Jar.
Oh my.
No.
The entire movie. It was classic. It was so good.
Oh my god.
And then some of the some of the other characters that are, voices may be problematic nowadays were changed up a bit. So it was very funny to watch.
Hey, John. John says he's hoping for Tales of the Bounty Hunters to come up.
Yeah, we were talking about that too. That would be really cool.
Not a bad idea.
No.
We have a lot of stuff they could, feed off of for that.
There is a book, Tales of the Bounty Hunters.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Comics as well.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. Yeah.
What other
Tales
tales?
of Jeff Caffrey.
Yeah, that's true, Scooby. We all live vicariously through Jeff's adventures.
I have to
We all
live
live
stream it,
vicariously through Jeff.
I need that in Lego form, though.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
So when cool stuff happens, Jeff's head just goes.
It pops off. Yeah. His little scuffy beard and the little hat. Yeah, yeah.
No, the best thing is
Or it just flips around.
Jeff and Lamont getting in the car.
Oh
While we're
gosh.
on the Zoom
The
with
traffic
Jeff,
zoom,
watching him going through Los
not
Angeles.
zooming through LA traffic. while
And
on
then
set.
Dave plays some kind of llama song. It's naming all these streets in in Los Angeles, and Jeff is yelling, "Those don't cross; they run parallel."
Yeah, whoever wrote that song just basically picked off of a list of street names as opposed to looking at a map.
Those streets don't cross.
And so
That
then
was-
he
yeah, that
parked
was
under a do not parking sign. So the next week we all had the picture of him, of his car parked in front of this
Our
sign.
background.
Yeah, if you
as our
look at the do
background.
not parking sign, it was 7 p.m. here in Los Angeles, and the do not parking sign said some morning hour until 4:30 p.m. I was well within my right to park there, but they all had to jump on that for some
Comes
reason.
on, and
My
everybody's
car was there
background.
unticketed when I returned.
That's all that matters, Jeff.
That's it, pretty much. If you can find a spot in Hollywood, especially, take it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God. It's like getting good parking in Boston near Fenway Park
Yeah.
and not
There's a
having
lot of
to pay
places
for
that are very similar.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
we've done a lot of stuff this year, is particularly, but like over the course of these 100 episodes, we've done watch-alongs for like all of seasons 1, 2, and 3. Like,
Yeah.
can you
What are we-
believe that?
We're almost halfway through 4, right? We're
Four,
around,
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
getting
we're
there.
pretty close.
or more than that, are we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
just did Jedi Knight.
Oh, that was 10, right? So we're right,
Yep.
right there.
Almost at
Two-thirds.
the end for that. Yeah.
Mm.
And the best of specials for season 1, 2, and 3.
Mhm.
We've gone over those. And it's been a lot of fun, just kind of like, pulling together everything that happened in each season and just seeing the growth of the Ghost Crew as we've
Oh,
gone
yeah.
along.
Mm.
And then focusing on individual characters.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
the best
Some of those shows are really good. The best of Zeb, the best of Hera.
And my
Yeah,
very
those are
first
fun.
show, the best of the Grand Inquisitor.
Made it the best of
That was
Skip.
that was such a classic, because first of all, it's like, you want to do the show? Sure, I'll come in and jump in the show. Hey, what are we watching tonight? We're not watching a show. What?
We're just
What are we
I
doing?
mean,
the show? It's the best of the Grand Inquisitor, and I'm like, oh wow! Like of all characters, you got to come up with something. Okay.
Wikipedia.
It's what species is the Grand Inquisitor, and then it's classic because Ashley can't be there, and so I'm filling in for Ashley, and you see Mark's face pop in when he gets to the screen, and he looks up and goes, "Oh." It's like,
You're not Ashley.
Mark, you're stuck with Skip tonight.
Yeah, he comes in a few minutes before we're going to start, and he's like, huh? Okay, well,
Yeah,
Oh,
he showed up
man.
late. He came in like just a few minutes before the show, and all of a sudden you should have seen the surprise on his face. It's like,
why is
where's
Skip
Ashley?
here and where's Ashley?
Mhm.
He hadn't been paying attention to the chat that day, so that's what happens.
So
Not
guys,
that we don't have 1,000 chats going in all different directions.
what has been your favorite of the best of episodes? Like,
Well,
let us
I'm-
know in the chat as well. We want to hear from you guys. But
I'm
we'll go to the
surprised
channel
that Mike made this comment
Ah,
because there
Well-
was
There was Mike,
the
and you
best
were
of
in
hot.
Disneyland
talent.
that night. My
I
God.
I even altered
You missed
the
it, my
graphic
friend.
to say hot.
Sorry.
With chops on it.
So you need to
Mhm.
go back to the VCN archives on YouTube and
Yeah.
search for Callus in there, and you'll find
Yes.
We
your.
were
Mhm.
reaching
Best
out
of hot.
through the
It was a
forums
fun
and
show,
finding
Mike.
It was good. Yep.
but somebody had to go to Disneyland
Again.
again.
Again and again.
You did. You missed it, man.
Yeah.
It was good.
There's a whole bunch you've missed that you needed to be present for. That your name was invoked trying to get you to appear in the chat. Doesn't always work. Works a
Yeah,
lot
we
of
said,
times.
we said your
We
name
just start
3
talking
times
about-
with the lights off and nothing happened.
Don't say it,
So-
Skip. Don't say it.
Yeah, don't.
Popcorn.
Uh,
Oh, here we
I
go.
saw the tickets went on sale for
Sarlacc
Deadpool
pit.
today,
Yeah.
and the option that the El Capitan for the screenings, they had ones that you could get a pop of either Wolverine or Deadpool as
Cute.
part of the ticket deal, but there was also one that included a 230-ounce popcorn bucket.
Oh, wow.
He said he was gonna go big with that bucket.
That thing is going to have to be huge. How are you going to even like sit it on your lap in the theater?
I think you're gonna have to sit in it. I mean, that's
pretty much.
Yeah.
it's like a booster chair or something.
It's like a really
what
bad Halloween costume, you know.
It gets
Could be.
stuck as you're trying to wedge it into the
To use
seat
it as
in
a-
front of you and your
put it in-
knees. It's just like,
Out with your trash cans or something. I don't know, but
how are you fitting that in your car in LA?
Yeah, that's
How are you gonna
Like,
get that home?
tiny
You're
little
gonna
car.
have to like strap it to the roof or like tie down your trunk or something to get it.
I only considered that ticket with that comes with that 230-ounce popcorn bucket because it comes with it's a two
Damn.
ticket deal that comes with the necklace.
Oh.
So
Oh,
Spencer,
Oh.
Spencer stole my transition. It's like, well, now that we're talking about Deadpool and Wolverine, you know, that leads us up into the 55 of us that are going to see that movie in California.
At
Jet
the
lag.
Chinese
Theater. I mean,
theater.
come
Chinese
on.
theater,
TCL Chinese
completely
IMAX.
jet lagged. Completely jet
On
lagged. It ought to be
where
really
are we going to
entertaining.
all be? On the family vacation.
Mhm.
Get your coffee
I'm
on.
sure half the
before
row
you
will be snoring just because they're going to be so tired, not because they're bored by the movie, but they
Yeah.
But
no.
yeah, my flight leaves at like 6:00 in the morning.
Yeah,
That
I get
day.
to LA like at noon. I'm like,
So,
dude, I'm gonna have
a
to.
lot
I
of
don't know
people
what I'm
get
gonna
in
do.
that day, but the other half or some good portion are going to be coming from San Diego, having just
Oh
done
yeah.
Yeah.
multiple days at Comic-Con for the most part. I'm only going to do a day, maybe and a half.
Make sure you
'Cause I
guys
know
can find
better.
a place with some good Kona coffee because that stuff will save your life. At Comic-Con.
Yeah.
So
Kona
there will
coffee,
be
okay.
all
My
kinds
first
of
year there.
tired there, is
Yeah.
all I'm saying.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
Vitamin
what are some of
C,
your favorite?
ibuprofen.
Oh, there you go. What are your favorite best of episodes? So we'll go around the panel and you guys.
Well, I'll have to say Chopper.
I
love
was gonna
Chopper.
say that Chopper. It's always Chopper.
Chopper was greatest hit.
I love my little murder droid. He's my favorite.
Yes.
Can't beat Chopper.
I know
Another-
when I got my baseball jersey for the virtual cantina, and I have Spectre 3 on the back of my shirt.
Yes.
Nice. Love it. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's another
there was
thing.
a whole I think we got almost every Spectre ordered in that group.
Yep.
Like,
I'm Spectre 5, so
close to it. So
Funny
they all
fact-
need
word
to
is getting out. Yes.
Funny little fact on the first show. I was watching and there was an error, and Mark called Sabine Spectre 3 and Chopper Spectre 5. He had them backwards.
Ooh.
Mm.
Mark, we're taking away your cred card. Cough it up.
Sarah, what about you? What's your favorite best of?
It's probably Chopper and Hera tied.
Mm.
Yeah.
I love Hera. She's one of my favorite female Star Wars characters. But there's not another droid like Chopper. He's just
Something
insane.
fell off your shelf behind you.
I know. I'm being attacked by the Empire. My son brought them home from college. They're his university logos with Grogu and the
Oh, nice.
Empire and
Oh.
all that kind of stuff. And I
Very
had him
cool.
up there, and now I'm being attacked. So sorry.
Now they're taking a dive.
Grogu wants chicky nuggies.
They didn't like my murder droid comment, apparently. Yeah.
Grogu
No, but that was
wins.
actually one of the things that annoyed me. I was watching someone was talking about how Andor was so different from much of the other Star Wars content that's come out at the same time, and they were talking about how that droids were just being used as like cannon fodder and all the other Star Wars stuff. And I'm like, you've clearly never watched Rebels because this droid has PTSD, dude. I'm like, this is not. I'm like, come on,
Yeah.
man.
This droid has PTSD.
Highest-
He's not going to take it. He's just
Yep.
going to take everybody out with him.
Yep.
The highest murder count of any character.
Oh yeah, and then some.
Even Anakin and all those kids.
Yeah.
Just saying.
All those daycares that he went.
Whoa.
Ugh.
We went there.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it's real simple because it was my first show. It's
Oh,
not like he's my favorite character or that I dig him the most because I like Chopper, I like Hera, I like all the characters, but but being pulled in at the last minute, my favorite best of was the Grand Inquisitor because I had to come up with some shit really fast.
And you did great.
You got to
Really?
play off of Mark's notes a little bit, but you know,
Yeah.
I did. It was funny because at the end of it, Mark was like, "Well, that was pretty good. You should come back and do this again."
John, he's a high functioning sociopath. I think
There
you
you
should
go.
know the
Yeah.
difference. Yes.
Yes.
Totally fun. We've also had some like things that I never thought would happen like in my lifetime. We've had some amazing special guests on this show.
Yeah, that was my favorite best
really
of, as it
impressive.
were.
Yeah.
Were definitely some of the celebrating specific characters. Those were all very cool. And I think Sarah mentioned Hera.
Oh, and Vanessa came. Yeah.
Yeah, Vanessa.
Unfortunately, I think we had a couple of little glitches on that show.
Yeah.
But of course, what sticks in my mind is all the trouble I was having back end, as opposed to how much fun everybody was having on the front end. So, but it's interesting that she's kind of moved into that streaming world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was setting everything up. That's why she was having difficulty with her Wi-Fi that
exactly.
day. But,
so we were helping her get to the point she's at now.
Yeah, she's like the Twitch streaming mistress. It's so great. I love it.
Yeah.
And she's still such a fan of the show. I mean, wasn't it like at ICC, she even put like the Rebels cards at her table and everything?
Oh, yay.
Yeah, somebody gave her a stack of them and she had them out or something.
That's so cool. Yeah, I couldn't ask
I
for
wonder
better.
who did that day.
Yeah.
So how many of those did we do?
So we started off with Philip Anthony Rodriguez, his
Right.
brother. He was so much fun.
He is.
Yeah.
I started following him on
Instagram, me
Twitter
too.
X or whatever.
Yeah.
Twix.
It's great.
Twix. Yeah, we're just gonna call it Twix. It's easier. Thanks, Jeff. Jeff coined that. Copyright Jeff. Take that,
There you
Elon
go.
Musk. We also had Taylor Gray, which was a really fun interview, and I was so nervous. Like, like I've been around that guy before, like at a Comic-Con, but I was like, oh my god, it's Ezra Bridger.
And it was
kind of how I felt before coming on tonight.
Yeah, it was just so nerve-wracking, but
he was so sweet though. He was I mean, just watching him as an audience member, he was just the nicest guy. Yeah.
Yeah,
very
he's
accommodating.
so proud of the work that he's done, and the fact that he still comes to cons and gets the word out there about it. It's just awesome. And who else we had? Oh, Keone Young. That was a memorable interview, and it was so fun.
I ran into Keone yesterday after the Rebels panel at Comic-Con, or not yesterday, on Saturday, after the Rebels panel at Comic-Con Revolution here in Southern California at the Ontario Convention Center. They did a panel which was supposed to have other people who didn't show up, but
Taylor
and Vanessa were there, and Steve was there, and Keone was there, and one other guy was a writer, producer guy who actually voiced somebody. He said he was only in, like, he worked on the first season.
I saw the post and
Craig
I don't remember.
Weisman.
That sounds about right.
He's worked on Gargoyles. He
was going on and on about Gargoyles later on.
He's so awesome. Like, I love Craig. He's fantastic.
After that panel was over, I was wandering back into the exhibit hall, and I look over and I see Keone wandering in. He's like trying to figure out where he's supposed to go. I was like, "Hey, Keone, it was a great panel." He's like, "Thanks." And then he continued. I was like, "Hey, can I get a photo with you?" He's like, "You have to come to my table." I'm like, "All right, I'll see you over there." And I never.
Yeah, he's a stickler for that.
I understood, the idea there. So.
Yeah.
But it was fun to see him in the, wandering the exhibit hall.
Out in the wild, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We've also
That was
had.
a great panel.
Oh, good. Yeah, it sounds like it would be fun because I don't think Keone has jumped in on very many Rebels panels, so it'd be interesting to hear what he had to say.
I'll expand on it more at a different point, but it was interesting.
We also had Julie Dolan and the Legion
That
of
was
Leia's.
awesome.
She was so fun.
She's very, very nice. And then I saw her at Comic-Con shortly after, and she was very, very cool.
We got a lot of really good inside information from her about what it's like to be a part of the voice acting team or family of a character. And so I think about that now every time I see people, that are overlapping characters, and you always kind of wonder, do they have a secret Discord chat or something?
Yeah, it's fascinating because she's done so much both in like live action and voice acting, and it's surprising. And when you hear her speak, it's like, wow, I can totally see how they would get Carrie Fisher with you, and it works. And she was talking about how she got that tone and how she
Mhm.
studied Carrie's cadence, and it was just fascinating to listen to. So we love
Until-
Julie.
Until they
Great.
just did the Star Tours update, I would be very much like, "Hey, I know her," when Leia would pop up
Yeah.
on screen as a hologram. But now it's either Ahsoka, Mando, and Grogu, or
Oh, they don't leave the old ones
Andor.
in as well.
Not right now. For the new
Oh.
stuff, they're just cycling through the 3 new ones.
Gotcha.
But they're very cool. It's great seeing Andor, Ahsoka, and she's got Hu Yang and Chopper in the background, and then Grogu sitting on Mando's lap.
that's fun.
So it's very cool. If you get a chance to ride the
Roxy.
new Star or the updated Star Tours,
I can't wait to see it.
Yes, at the family vacation.
Woo!
I'm living vicariously through you all 55 of you. Okay, just so you
Yeah.
know.
I'm out on the East Coast. I've never been to Disneyland, and I just sit there watching jealously about all the fun things they get to do, and I'm like, I get to go. I get to go.
Let me tell you, it is so different from Disney World. Disney World is so touristy and like it's an
Yeah.
actual like resort.
Mhm.
Disneyland is like a hometown park, and it's just
it's just
Mhm.
plopped
I've
down in
heard.
the middle of
Yeah.
neighborhoods and stuff.
Mhm.
and
I've
fun.
heard that's crazy.
It's
yeah,
more
I can't wait.
compact.
Okay.
It started out
Everything
just
is
in
right there.
orange groves, and
Yeah, there was
different
nothing
types of
there, right? Right, yeah.
agriculture, and then they, instead of keeping their the stuff around them to themselves, they sort of let things pop up, which is obviously naturally makes sense for that business, especially since they were struggling at the beginning.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
then they had once Roy took over and decided to go to Florida, that idea was like, we need to get all that just in
Need to
case.
control it. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, we
So
need these
different
extra lands.
mindset. But yeah, it's a different type of park, but I think everybody will have fun that comes out and enjoys it with us.
I just hope I get to meet Grogu. That's all I want. That's all I want. Out of the
Very
week. That's all I
likely.
want.
Yeah,
That's all I want.
no
I wanna do
Grogu
Rise.
leaving. Yeah. Oh man, so excited for you guys.
Can meet this Grogu at the
Yeah.
very least.
Mm,
And like Dave says, meet the regulars like Jeff, John, and Mike.
Mike's
Hey,
office.
Yeah.
Kareen.
yeah.
Yeah.
Can't
Mike's
believe
got
I'm gonna all
like
hang out
a
down there.
cubicle in Batu.
And
Yeah, I
John,
think
John's
they're there.
camped out in the Kyber Crystal section of.
Yeah, he's back at the
Yeah.
Kyber crystals, which I like, but I kind of almost feel bad for him. Although, amazingly, in his first batch of the new Kyber crystals, he pulled a black one, which is insane.
Mhm.
Oh,
Perfect.
So
But
at
he
least
all
you
this
don't
time.
have to go through
Style.
this pain again.
after all this time. Wow.
Well, he got one finally in his original quest. Took him a while.
Yeah.
I think it took him about 30 tries.
Yeah, it was so funny
20
because he'd
bucks
say,
off
"This is
almost.
my last time. I'm not buying anymore."
No more.
And then a week
This is
later,
it.
there'd be a new video.
Mike says he's trying to get a crack crystal.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what the
boy.
thing was. The funny thing is he's trying to get
Oh.
one of the fractured, cracked, whatever they're calling them, that are combined like styles of
So
crystals.
is that like Ben
half
Solo?
red, half blue. There's a Kylo one that's like that.
Oh.
And instead of getting one of those, he pulls a black like the first try. So it's like
See, all he had to do was stop trying.
Stop looking for
Something
it.
else.
Mhm.
And
Stop
it's
looking
fine.
for it.
Then it happens.
I
Then it
haven't
happens.
gotten the opportunity to buy any of those new crystals, but I have this weird feeling that I will be buying more than I need to soon. I was supposed to go last weekend, but I had some time constraints with other events I was doing. Not last weekend, the week before, and didn't make it down to the park. So now I have a strike against me, which is how Magic Keys are treated here, us pass holders in Disneyland. But
Oh.
anyways, as long as I don't get any more in the next couple of months, I'm okay. Anyways, so next time I go, I will definitely try to get some of those crystals myself.
I'm gonna need that. You guys, when you go on the trip, you'll be able to get this in Disneyland because this is the only place you can get this. Loth Cat Tiki Mug at Doc Ondar's. Sorry,
Mhm.
Oga's Cantinas.
Yeah,
Yep.
that
August. It's gotta happen. It's gotta happen. Yep.
Kareen got one. I might have gotten one.
I need one so bad.
I haven't been there
So
since
cool.
they had them. The drink is non-alcoholic, like the Cliff Dweller, the poured
Yep.
one.
Mhm.
So that's
Well, that's boring. I need to throw some vodka in there for me.
Yeah, I
That's
know,
not
it's like
worth it.
bring a little
That's just
bottle
extra calories.
You just bring
I
some
do
nips.
have some of those little airplane bottles of
There you go.
rum.
A friend of mine
Yeah.
is very much a proponent of bringing those into the park with him.
Wow.
He
Can you
brings
do
in
that?
a good couple, 3, 4, 5 every time, just to have in case he wants to have a little, mixed drink here and there.
Put some rum chata in your half calf, and there you go.
Yeah, put it. Yeah, one of those calves that would fit really well, actually. The
I
one with
know my liquor.
the one with the Cocoa Puffs in it's really good.
Yeah, the half calf. It's crazy.
That
Or the
was
calf. Yeah.
I don't drink coffee normally, and so we were going to Docking Bay, and John's like, "You want one of those?" And he's like, "I'm just gonna buy you one." I was like, "Okay, whatever." And I was like, "Oh."
Drink
It's more, it's got the sweet cream and the cereal on top, and it's like, oh, this is like a bowl of cereal that somebody, poured a quarter cup of coffee into. Basically, it was pretty good.
Yeah, I need to get one of those mugs. So, and the fact that you can only get them on the West Coast is like huge. So you guys are going at the right
it's so
time.
weird.
I know.
The way that they split stuff up amongst the parks. And do they have a T16 Skyhopper in East yet?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen it.
So they have a boxed version of that's available at the Toy Dairy and Toy Maker or whatever.
Yeah. Oh.
That I'm gonna have to get
I haven't been in like a year and a half, so
I got to get our friend Leilani to autograph that.
Way to go, Chris!
All right, Chris.
There you go. That's the
We're
best
with
way
ya.
to do it, because you can get those into concerts and things.
Milo Run.
Yeah, the fact that they only have Mela Run juice on the West Coast is also something you guys will get to try, and it's my favorite.
But
yeah, I can't get
no rum.
Cheers,
It's non-alcoholic. You can get it at like Ronto Roasters or Docking Bay 7.
It's so good.
We have the misfortune of having a milk stand that serves only non-alcoholic versions of the blue and green, and then whatever extra one that they want to put in that has like something swirled in it,
like spicy or jam. Or
they'll put tahini on top with some jam swirled in it, and it's like, I'm good.
So getting back to some of the things that we've covered this year, we've had an abundance of Star Wars stuff happen during the time that we've been on the air. Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Woo!
Oh,
Yeah. I can tell that most of us really enjoyed that.
I did.
I just rewatched it for like the third or fourth.
Yeah, I'm having my boyfriend watch it now, so we're like halfway done with it for him. So, and he's like, it's so cool. That little Leia is just a badass. And I'm like,
and such a surprise.
Of course I know it. It's me. I didn't. I did total media blackout on that one. I did not watch any trailers, any spoilers. I didn't know anything going into it.
Dang,
so I didn't know what to expect. Anytime I really love something, I don't want to know anything about it. So I just went into it and went.
But they sort of did like a bait and switch almost with
they did, because when they put Alderaan up there, I'm like, we're all watching it going, that's not Korra. I said, oh my God, and when they got into the I was like hyperventilating. I had to stop and pause the show and be like, oh, I gotta get Leia. Oh my God.
I don't think we got any Leia in the trailers, right?
No.
It was all like focused on him and Luke. And
it was Tatooine.
Yeah, like, it's all going to be about Luke. And then
and we're like, he's going to be following Luke and keeping an eye on Luke. And it's like, nope.
We're like, he's going to save Luke from the Inquisitors. That's all we knew. And this is what we put together from the trailer. The trailer completely was like, curveball. And we're good.
A minor part of it.
Yeah, but that's what
we need more of that.
Yes.
I hate it when the trailers give
They do a lot of bait and switch.
Give away too much stuff.
I like it. I'm anti-spoilers. So that's exactly what I was doing. I have that GIF saved on my phone. That is me all the time about everything.
Dave says Kenobi was so nostalgic. Production value is occasionally questionable.
Yeah,
the volume is very limited. With
some of the animation I felt was a little not up to par.
Yeah,
but for the most part, there was enough that it wasn't, too noticeable.
Yeah. But having everything happen and just kind of Obi-Wan learning how to forgive himself for what happened to Anakin and just
seeing him go from being so broken down to really
I'm a huge stickler for continuity, and it has bugged me forever that how do you get from the end of episode 3 to the beginning of episode 4? How Like they
Yeah.
were nothing alike, and all of the lines and everything that were showing up, calling him Darth and the last time I saw you and blah blah blah. And I'm like, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And then when they did Rogue One, I was like, see, you can answer questions. You can fit it in there. I need answers. And I thought they delivered spectacularly with the Kenobi show. I was
Yes.
very, very, very pleased because
Definitely.
it all lined up. It all made sense. It pulled in from the EU. It pulled in from Rebels, and it was again another episode of where the droid never said a word. But I was in absolute tears in that tunnel.
Ned.
When Ned went down and he sacrificed himself, I was like in absolute tears. I was like,
and Tala. It was just,
I was so mad. I was so mad. I needed her to live. I needed more Tala. Yeah.
She was so
Tala's
good.
wild in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every
I met her
droid
in,
death we've
London.
gotten recently has been pretty impactful.
Yeah.
I was in line for a photo op with her, and the guy right before me, she grabbed his butt as they were getting the picture taken, and I was just dying laughing. And she's like,
I love her. She's so funny.
Wow.
We also had The Mandalorian season 3, which I have to. It was kind of the best of times and the worst of times with that.
It was the Bo-Katan show.
Yeah.
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 Which was fabulous.
The fact that we got that video of that girl, the TikTok girl, just like chilling in her bed in a sweatshirt eating snacks, and then the ship comes in, she was like, oh shit, and she's gonna get to her phone so she can just lounge there casually. And even Katie Sackhoff was like so amused by this TikTok, and I was like, thank you, it's not just me. Like, what was she doing? She couldn't have been sitting there the whole time. Like, she just yeah. But
And I loved the performance we got with Grief Karga from Carl Weathers.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm so glad we have that. I really am.
Yes.
He's going to be missed.
honestly, I
lot.
think like the way they wrapped up that season and the way you see them on Navarro, you have like Mando and Grogu obviously in their homestead, and you have Grief being reinstilled back as the magistrate there. I think it's the best way for his part to end, but I'm kind of sad about where it's going to go now, because not only was he the actor for this show, but he directed a lot of episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that season,
Key episodes.
And
I was-
they were fun episodes.
Yeah.
I was in Rhode Island, and he was there, and I got a photo op with him and Ming Na Wen, and I didn't get the autograph that I usually do. I'll usually go take it and get them both autograph it, and I didn't, and of course now I'm going to regret that. But it was they did a panel, and I was first of all I was surprised by how few people were at the Rhode Island Comic-Con Star Wars panel.
Yeah.
But he started talking not about just the acting that he did, but really started talking about the directing and working with all the individual actors that were on the stage. And you could really feel how integrated and how attached he was to the project and the work. So it was, he really was.
He was so passionate about it. I
Yeah.
mean, even in some of the behind the scenes stuff, he really, really got into it.
At that
he
round
really
table
loved his
during
Star Wars.
the gallery, like he just absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
So we couldn't ask for a better magistrate on Navarro. So we're gonna miss him in season 4 and in the Mandoverse from here on out.
And the
And I
little
love the fact that
droids
we got to
carrying
go back
his
to
robe.
Mandalore. Yes, the little droids carrying. That was hysterical. And I love that we got to go back to Mandalore. I was like, finally, I want to know what happened. I want to know. I
And
want to see
Mythosaur, you
the
guys.
Mythosaur. I
Oh.
screamed so loud. I screamed so loud.
That eye blinked open, and it was just like, oh.
Oh my god, it's alive! It's not dead. It's not fossilized. What's happening?
Yeah.
And then the whole like, oh, did you see it? No, I didn't see anything. I was miraculously unconscious for this whole thing. And I'm like, what do you mean?
It was right there.
He was right in front of you. He was breathing in your fit. No, just so that part was a little odd. Obviously, Andor was, I think, everything we wanted. As Jamie and I said on Wednesday night's Daughters of the Galaxy show, it was everything we wanted Star Wars to be that wasn't about the Sith
The Jedi.
or the Jedi. It was real people in the trenches fighting against the Empire and their tyranny.
Those Gilroys, they knock it out of the park, man.
Oh,
they
they
really,
Yeah.
they're like a dog with a bone. They have a story they want to tell, and they're gonna go for it.
It's
Drama
exciting.
and sadness and horrible death and all.
and torture and just oh my god.
The grittiness I liked. I didn't quite the whole prison thing.
Ugh.
But everything else about it, I really loved. I just, and I know everybody loves the prison thing, and but
Okay,
it just
so
didn't.
but you get why it was essential for the character, right?
Yeah.
Because going in, he was a
Yeah,
screw you. He was much more of a Han Solo. I'm in it for myself kind of person,
redemption
right?
arc.
Like he was like, I don't care about anybody. I'm hanging out here with my money. I don't care. He had, in order to become a leader, in order to develop the plan, in order to be able to do what he did for the rebellion, he had to have gone through what he went through in the prison. They're
I
really
don't disagree. I just didn't like the whole prison thing. But I think that may be a theme for me that I don't like. Is I'm not big on prison movies.
Oh.
So that may just
fair
been
enough.
that.
Fair
you
enough.
know,
I get that.
me.
All I could think about was that it was a real life. The floor is lava.
Yeah, oh, totally.
Very much so.
Yeah.
My
But
only
it's like
main
terrifying
issue.
because you've never seen that before anywhere,
Oh, yeah.
and it's like they
Yeah.
make you barefoot and they'll shock you to death. Like,
My
I
main
think it just
issue was the lack of other species besides humanoid.
yeah,
Or the-
But that was
Yeah.
just on that floor. That was
No, but
just
it
on
was
that floor, or that
also
wing of it.
in
you know. Oh, you're right, because they were all running out at the
in
end.
Ferrix, there was like you would hardly saw any other types of characters, which I'm sure was a money thing as well as
Yeah.
anything
Mhm.
else. But
Probably.
I felt that distanced me a little bit more from the Star Wars universe than had it just been adult Star Wars and had
no, that's true.
a little
good
bit
point.
more kind of diversity in terms of the character designs.
And honestly, I think Emmys should have been handed out to Stellan Skarsgård, Andy Serkis, Genevieve O'Reilly.
Oh God,
Like-
she was good.
Like
What did
the
what did I give up?
dialogue.
They gave up everything.
Ugh.
Oh,
Oh,
his
that was
speech.
amazing monologue.
His
I know
speech
people
Like
that
made
didn't
me
like it.
hair standing up on my arm from this.
Goosebumps everywhere. It was
Oh.
incredible. Yeah.
So crazy.
Definitely.
But we'll see where it goes in season 2. I know that poor Bix is recovering from her torture. But in real life, she's dating Jason Momoa, so it's all good. But, it's
That's
going
a
to
good
be
little Jason.
Yeah, it's Jason. It's fine.
Yeah, I think I read that where every 3 episodes is supposed to be like 1 year.
Yeah.
Oh, for
I
the
read that
new
too.
season, yeah, they're breaking it down to catch up from what 4 years out or whatever the original
Yeah.
season was into.
Like it'll end like right before
really
Rogue One.
one starts.
Right, yeah, and it's supposed to lead directly into Rogue One.
So we
Directly.
see why
Like
he's on
him
the run
meeting in the
and
alley.
with that
Yeah,
guy.
basically him coming to that transaction.
Oh, that'll be wild.
Yeah. I
So-
love
And
it.
then be like, oh, now we gotta watch Rogue One, and it's
And we got to go
Exactly.
back and catch that and see what else
Mhm.
been like connected that we didn't think was going
But
to be.
you
I just
know,
need my K2SO. I just need my K2SO.
It,
I
it just
need-
kind of continues
I
the
need
tradition.
him.
Rogue
Dave-
One led right into New Hope.
Yeah.
Dave,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like the Titanic.
That was
We
very
know what's
cool.
going to happen at the end of the movie.
And we can't
No.
stop watching.
Spoiler alert. But I loved how they sort of introduced like a K2SO, not really, because he gets, basically goes to jail because of one of those types of droids.
Yeah.
I think
And-
I think the supposition is that's supposed to be him.
Oh,
Isn't it?
okay. Well, I mean, that's possible.
That's
but-
just. I mean, it could just be fan speculation, but that's kind of what I've seen. Is that was why they introduced that there was because that is actually the unit that he actually.
okay.
gets a
Well, that
hold
would be
of. I don't know.
amazing, actually.
Mhm.
I hadn't heard that.
We'll see. We'll see if it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, now then it's like that comes full circle kind of thing.
Mhm.
Yeah. But having Andor August and then some as we got bumped up later.
pushing
And
it
then
back.
some.
That was so funny.
Yeah,
But you
that
know
was-
was
what?
awesome.
We made
They
it
have to
work.
change their dates on us all the time.
Yeah,
Like,
it's messing up Mark's naming conventions when they do that. Like he has his
How
plans
dare.
and he
we got
has
to go
his
back into the
marketing,
chat for
and they just keep blowing
brainstorming
it.
sessions. Go to the happy hour and try to glean some knowledge from the rest of the
Okay,
group.
guys, we need naming ideas. Let's go. Let's have a notebook.
And go.
Mike said he did a comic review of how Cassian got K2.
Oh,
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 That's cool.
have to look for that.
But I want to see
we'll
that
see.
happen.
We'll see.
the
I
Jedi
was going to say we'll
Archive.
see if there's retconning going on with
Yeah.
that. If they do the same thing
Yep.
in Andor
Yes.
that they've done in other properties.
Very
So,
likely.
Mhm.
yeah,
And
I
to
know.
stray when they feel like it,
Yeah.
which
But it was-
sometimes is
And
very annoying.
I don't mind it all the time.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
the only time it really gets to me is when it's marginalizing voices You know,
Mm.
voices of diversity, voices of
Yeah,
women,
when
you know,
they
who are authors
detract
or
from
comic
the
books.
original.
Yeah, for a 5-minute
Dumb
short, you know, I'm
it
like,
down, whatever.
okay, now that gets into sketchy territory for me. That's the part I'm like, when you're the steward, you got to do better and you got to be better, you know. So
Yeah, they should elevate it, not like take it back a step.
5 minutes short.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out what you were talking about there.
what could I possibly have been referencing? Now we're talking.
I know exactly which episode
know.
you mean.
Yeah.
So it's going to be exciting to just have those characters come back, and we were able to recap so much in that, including watching Rogue One again, and rewatching Andor, and all the characters that are involved in that show, like the best of Mon Mothma. That was something we did.
I love her.
And
All the best of
Yep.
were great.
yeah, so it was just fun to like be able to pull from that, and just all these characters that were featured in Rogue One and in Andor that we suspected were in Andor, and shine a light on something that we were really excited about. So.
Yeah, and having to connect to Rebels, you know,
Yeah.
that we got to first see Mon Mothma going on the run in Rebels.
cargo!
And it's gonna fit in there somewhere. Yeah,
It's so good.
So excited.
It's where
So-
she stood up and went against the Senate for the first
Now,
time.
here's the thing: are we going to see that in live action on Andor season 2? Like, what leads
Ooh.
to her being on the run?
I would love that. I would love that.
Yes.
Yeah, they.
And I'm going to throw this out there right now. I think it's her daughter.
That
I
rats
think
her out?
Because they had such a contentious relationship, and then she goes
Right.
and does this like super hyper conservative religious thing, and then she hooks up with the, I don't know, was he a gangster? Was he a connoisseur? Was he a businessman?
Questionable
that-
character.
Shady
Questionable
fellow.
character. Yeah, that Mon wanted to get financing from. And I'm like, I feel like we're going to get into over the couple of years, the daughter starts to pick up on what's happening. And I think she runs because her daughter rats her out to the Empire.
That's why her
'Cause I-
husband and her
'cause I-
child are
yeah.
missing from
Her husband and her
rest
child.
of
It's the only thing I could come up with of why it
That
made
just
sense
sucks.
that she would run and run alone.
Aha.
See, I was just trying to figure out: are we going to see
Sarah's
this?
calling it now.
I was wondering if we were going to see the speech that we hear in Rebels.
Yeah.
Oh, what she did from the ghost.
Yeah, when she gets in the ghost, and right before she gets there, they hear the speech, and then all of a sudden she shows up, and I was like, oh, well, maybe we'll lead into that speech. You know, if
Yeah.
they want to really, if they want to really cross over, you know, they can take that speech and have her do it. That would be really cool.
Mike says her daughter is awful in the EU. So at least we're setting up for something. So
Possible. Yeah. And I love the idea. My headcanon is that speech led to the scene that we saw at the end of Bad Batch with Omega deciding to go out like that.
Yeah.
That was the recruitment
Yeah.
speech that actually pulled her off of the island with Hunter and the Batch. So
And you know, it would have to take a lot for
Makes
her
me
to
happy.
get involved. And maybe she reached out to Hera. So, wow. Bad Batch season 3 this year with its end of an era kind of thing. I think it ended in the best possible way that it could have.
I was surprised. I
was
agree.
yeah.
I was surprised. I didn't think they were going to make it.
I didn't either. I thought all of them would be gone except for Omega.
Yeah, they're just
Mm,
living their
yeah,
best
it was-
life on Pabu and just
Abu.
I kept expecting like Wrecker to die.
yeah.
He was
Oh my
on the
God, he was
verge.
the one I was worried.
I thought he was
Well,
going down.
especially when
I
he
thought
got
was
hurt
going
and he was having trouble
what I
getting
mean.
through the jungle.
Yep.
At that point, it was like, okay, this is the time, right? And it's like, well, no, okay. And you
And
know,
everybody thought somebody's going to die. I mean, we were all going
That's a-
into that
yeah.
finale going, we're going to be crying by the time it's over. Who's going
I had
to
my
die?
tissues right next
Yes.
to my bed. I
Me
was
too.
ready.
Me too.
Yeah.
And it was another thing where
do
we
it.
expected something and they just completely flipped it on us.
They did.
Sometimes they move too fast. There you go.
And
Yeah.
honestly, I'm okay with that. I'm not a person who loves bittersweet stuff. My favorites are always the shows that are funny, or
Still too soon,
uplifting,
Tucker.
or the good guys win, or whatever. I'm a cheeseball. I admit it. That's my favorite part. I appreciate the other stuff because
Yeah.
it balances it out, but I don't tend to rewatch those. I don't tend to really enjoy those very much. I endure them more than anything. So I was utterly delighted.
I
at the
will
end of Bad
die,
Batch. I was
David.
like,
I will die.
Oh, that would be like the casting
Stop it!
too of the
So Sarah
century.
was like,
Now I
was
know what I want
a,
for
I hadn't
Christmas.
thought of that.
Holy crap!
There was-
Oh man.
There was a cosplayer at the con I was at over the weekend that was basically the older Omega in Hunter's gear.
Oh, cool. I think I've seen her. She might have updated her
Oh,
outfit, though.
it might not have been Hunter specifically. It was definitely Bad Batch version
Yeah.
of the Stormtrooper armor.
I think I've seen her at San Diego Comic-Con a few years back, and it looks cool.
She was giving me Hunter vibes because she had like her hair kind of up like Omega did.
Yeah.
With just like a red bandana or a red whatever kind of thing to
Yeah, I love she had Hunter's bandana in her hair.
Yeah.
Oh, so cute.
Yep, sign me up, Spencer. Sign me up. No. You just have to breathe, and that guy will just, it'll be fine. So we've done a lot of fun merch for our show, which is taken off in the best ways possible. Yes, look at these ladies rocking it. It's so cool.
Yep.
Really appreciate you guys with that. And we've had like Corky Crees taking off where he is like, the Pride collection, Big Gay Explosions, Freaky Force shit, y'all. Like we just random things that we say. Hu Yang is for the younglings. I'm damn proud of that shirt. and
somehow
just
Asaja lives.
Max Rebo returned. Like it's
So-
been so fun to just say weird things and have them be on t-shirts. Yes, someone show the Big Gay Explosions.
I don't have that graphic handy, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah.
sorry, Mike.
But you know.
But you have the shirt, so you know what it looks like.
Yeah, if Mark or Mike were
I'm
on the
wearing
stream,
rainbow today.
there
so
you go. You're close.
mine
If
had
one
a
of them
shirt.
were on the
My
stream,
rebel
it might be on camera, but
Yeah, and we've had obviously like our Halloween episodes where we've dressed up as like our characters,
yeah.
Marcus
You're not here.
Imperial characters, and
Here on the main graphic, I got you guys down in the corner because I thought that was so much fun.
That was
Yeah.
amazing. Yes, down on the right side. Yep, there it is.
Thrawn versus Hera. So that was
Yeah.
probably one of the funnest.
Mark
things we've done.
Olin.
He'll never live that down. He needs a nameplate like that for his desk at work.
Definitely.
He does.
Let's see what else we got in here. Just our Christmas episodes, our New Year's episodes. Just getting to like, we've had so much happen in Star Wars this year between the Acolyte trailers, which have been phenomenal. Today they dropped a little musical snippet of Amandla Stenberg playing the violin, a piece
Haven't
that
watched
was
that
written
yet.
for her. It's like a violin solo written for her by John Williams
Wow.
himself. If
Oh,
you haven't watched that yet on the Star Wars Instagram, Facebook, it's everywhere in their social media. Please watch it.
Sweet.
It's short, but it's beautiful, and she does such a good
love
job. So
I love that
definitely
he's
worth
still
it.
composing, I love
Yes.
that he's still composing. He did the Obi-Wan Kenobi theme.
Yeah.
He's involved in the Acolyte. I love it.
Galaxy's Edge, the
Mhm.
theme music for Galaxy's Edge. Like he's still doing big things, and I think one of the
Mhm.
most hearing that and knowing that he wrote that piece for her, and also hearing that Ray's theme and Daisy was given the sheet music for Ray's theme was given to Daisy Ridley and signed by John Williams. Like it, honestly,
nice.
it's just little things like that that make me happy, and like the past is promoting the growth of the future. And I got to watch the Phantom Menace last week, and it had like the
Fun.
little 5-minute clip from the Acolyte with Master
finally saw that.
Zara
Mhm.
versus Amandla's character.
It's a great
May.
extended scene.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, it's so Matrixy, but it's so good. And I'm just like, I need to see more. It's everything you want. It's like kung fu inspired. Like it's got a lot of like classic kung fu, but also like
It gave me vibes of the Barris arc,
yeah.
Yeah.
totally
Big
with the Inquisitor, and then her doing the same kind of movement, which was very reminiscent of what Carrie Ann Moss's character was doing.
Totally. And that was a lot of fun to see. So, and the fact that we got our first little sneak peek into official Skeleton Crew merch as well in that little
Mhm.
silver thing, I was like, oh my god, it does
Yeah,
exist.
Yeah, they do exist.
They do exist.
And then out of all of that, there's special guest host days.
Yes.
Like the 100th episode.
Like this, and having you guys on there. Like, we've had so many cool people jump on the show, but I think this is probably one of the coolest things we've ever done, is just having all of you on here to celebrate with us and talk about the show that we love so much and we do our best to honor every week. So that means a lot.
It means a lot to be here. Thanks for taking a chance on us.
Yeah.
A few less comments in the chat because you guys were on camera. Fun. We would have had a whole tirade from Sarah
get
about
back
something.
in the chat. It's fine.
I can't type fast enough, and then y'all filter me. Now I just get a chance to say it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we get to see your face.
Yeah.
Change it.
Yeah, sometimes by the time I type
That's what happened
something,
about
it's like we're already on another topic.
Yeah.
You know how Mark likes to skip topics all over the place.
That man
Hey
talks
guys, want to
fast.
really be nervous? Let's be nervous now.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll talk, Spencer.
okay.
We'll talk.
We'll talk.
Dave says, I think Rebels Revisited holds the record for the most guest hosts. Absolutely. I think we do. I don't know. The watch along is up there pretty much.
Yeah.
Too. Like they're
Yeah.
Jason, shut up. No comments from the peanut gallery.
I think the watch along had maybe more guests, but not necessarily. Well, I guess we've had a good selection of guest hosts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's been great. But who to think that we'd come this far in 2 years and get the love that we needed to most tag-ins by Skip.
Gonna need a skip counter in the corner now.
Yeah. Skip count every week. But
Get a little ding.
I have to admit, like, when I was approached to host, I was like, oh yay, I get to talk about something that I love to talk about and make everybody nauseous with my love of Star Wars and love of Rebels in particular. And to the fact that so many people like glommed onto that and were like, yeah, me too. It's just like,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I found my tribe. It's great.
Yes.
It really
Came
is.
out of the woodwork.
Yeah, Skip's wife has said that he found his place.
Yeah.
He found his
Aw.
tribe where he belongs.
Where I play.
She'll allow it.
I'll allow it.
She gets to wear the Ski Pruckle t-shirt, so it's fine.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm
Aw,
dying to wear
nice.
the Ski Pruckle shirt for the Mark Hamill signing. I want to be one of
Because it's
and he's going. I want him to say, because Harrison's sitting, and I just like hoping he'll catch that and go, okay, explain that to me.
Explain this.
Mhm.
What does this
So
mean?
you'll get a little bit of time with him then.
Yeah. So back in 8th grade.
and
Yeah.
get that memory trigger that Skip does to everybody for some reason.
Mhm.
I'm hoping you do get some time with him, and then it's not like, as much as I love Ben and the team at Official Picks, like the rushing through when they have the huge signers like that, they don't really get a chance to like look up and like really take it in. So it means a lot when they do, and they just kind of slow it down for a second to just kind of interact real quick. So I really
Definitely.
hope you get that moment with him, and it would be so freaking cool for you.
I'm
You'd
excited.
be like, yeah, 2 for 2.
Well, the whole thing with Billy Lord at Anaheim in 22, I'm with Bridget and we're in line. And I said, okay, now look. I said, I can't do this, but this one's for you. So when you get up there, tell her that her hair looks, because she had it braided up. And
Yeah.
I said, tell her you really like her hair. I said, it'll just get us a couple more, seconds, talking to her. And she gets up there and she started, she looked at our names, was getting ready to sign, Bridget goes, I like that one. And so then I'm thinking Bridget's not going to do it. And all of a sudden she goes, I really like your hair. And she just lit up and was just like, yeah. And she started going on about her hair. Do you like it? I was thinking I'd do this and da-da-da-da-da.
She had the Endor Leia braid with like
It was so cute,
pretty.
and sure enough, it snagged her. I was like, you got to have that one little comment.
And when I was meeting Ewan in Boston, and I got him to sign my Dr. Sleep poster, and I said, I just want to thank you for making this movie because it's so awesome and it's one of my absolute favorites. And he was like, well, thank you so much. I didn't think anybody else liked that. when it came out because it was during COVID. There was nobody in theaters. He's like, but the more I do these cons, everyone's telling me how much they love it, so it means a lot. And I'm like, yes, more time.
Yay! That one was hard for me. I watched that one. That was hard for me. I actually had to like mute the part in the middle because I'm just not a big horror person. But I really loved how they brought the story back around. Yeah,
Jacob Tremblay, like as horrible as that poor character was treated in that scene, Jacob Tremblay made you believe it, and that kid is just a phenomenal.
I was like, that poor kid. I hope he has a therapist. Like, no one should have to.
It's funny that you.
No.
You had such a conversation with Ewan because when Dave met him, he said hello there, and Dave said,
Oh, no.
He had his opportunity to say General Kenobi and fangirl on him.
Oh no! Oh, that's like my worst nightmare.
Dave's inner child is like, "Wake up, stupid! Let's go!" like in Christmas Story.
He's having a Christmas Story moment. No! You're blowing it! You're blowing it!
Put your foot on the slide.
Climb back up. I need my
Spencer.
Oh
No, Spencer, what did you do?
I can't remember who he pulled a Dave with. Anyways, well,
yeah. So we've covered so much ground in the last 100 episodes, and I squeaked thank you for saying that to me. Oh man, I'm sorry. You'll get your chance again. He's really cool, and he likes doing cons now, so absolutely he'll be back.
I'm sorry, Spencer. I should laugh. I just had an image of your face when you said that, and it just really struck me as funny. Oh my gosh.
Spencer, who says hello there to everybody, choked when Ewan said hello there. Well, at least it wasn't like Natalie Portman. He probably would be like, fall over.
Classic.
But yeah, we've had so much fun over the last 100 episodes, and honestly, I couldn't ask for a better group of people to work with and to have watch our show and be here. Like, you guys are phenomenal, and I'm so grateful for you. And Jeff in the chair week after week, it's magical place
do that, Jeff.
Yes.
Clicking buttons. Now you see what I do. You get to see the man behind the curtain, so to speak.
Exactly.
Yep.
This was important. So thank you for being involved here. More voice of God in the background. Like it's like Jeff TV down there at the bottom.
Go back to
He's the whiz.
Who, what, where? No, I'm not here. Only here to make corrections and talk about technical issues.
Hold on a second. Click. But
always fun.
We have a few more episodes left in our Rebels Revisited thing before we switch over to Clone Wars Revisited with Mark and Skip will be joining us in there, and I hope you ladies will join us in the chat as well, and maybe we can have you on in the future.
I'm gonna give it a go. I was a latecomer to Clone Wars. My kids had to rope me into it.
Me too. Yeah,
that was actually a funny transition because we got through Clone Wars right after we moved back to the US from Europe, which we didn't have like Disney HD. So I didn't actually get to watch Rebels live. And we had a regular thing where we have pizza and we watch a show on like a Friday night or whatever. It was a way to kind of bond with our kids, when they were getting to that age where they didn't like their parents anymore. We used Star Wars, and we got to the end of Clone Wars. That was when there was that half 6th season on Netflix. Was in 2018, right when we came back. And then JB started talking to me about this other show, this other cartoon show, and I was like, ugh, I'm tired of Clone Wars. I don't, no more war. Like, just, I'm over it. I'm done. I can't. And he's like, oh, no. This is like Princess Leia's Rebellion. This is like OG Rebellion. I was like, okay, sign me up. Let's do it. So we had the DVDs from Netflix sent to our house. So we'd get 3 DVDs in a row, watch one, send them back or whatever. Yeah. And, we got to that first episode when Kanan said, "Kid, I'm about to let everybody in on the secret," and I was hooked.
Yeah, girl.
I was like way bigger fan about this than my kids, and
Sherry, what was your first exposure to Rebels?
Actually, it was at I want to say Anaheim 2015 celebration, and Disney had a booth there, And if you downloaded the Rebels game to your phone, they gave you like a backpack.
Oh, you still
That
have
had-
it?
Oh, that's so cool. I think I have one over there.
Yeah, I was looking for it I don't know, it's buried in one of my closets someplace. But I was trying to find it to show tonight. But I remember that. I was lousy at the game because I'm not good at games on phones. But
Well, that wasn't part of the deal.
No.
So look at that.
no.
Fun.
That's not it.
What's the back? I think mine's different. Turn around the back.
So it's got.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Ooh.
I don't know. It's been so long since I've seen mine. I think mine's different.
I got this on eBay, like because I
Mm.
was very late to the game, but it says Disney XD on it, so I just
Mhm.
Okay. There
I
you
thought
go.
it was part of it. But
I was extremely
Yeah.
late to the game.
And
That's
then
really
actually
fun.
I watched Rebels before I watched Clone Wars.
same.
Oh wow. Okay.
I mean, I
Yeah.
had seen some of Clone Wars at Celebration, like when they were showing some clips sometime at one of them. I don't remember which one. So I had seen bits and pieces, and usually at Celebration they have like a quiet room where they run episodes of like Rebels or Clone Wars or whatever.
That's
And I had it's a place to go and decompose when you just wanted to sit and be away from the crowds. And I had, caught up several episodes of Clone Wars in there. Like I remember the one specifically that really caught me was when Thrawn was in his office and Ezra was hiding behind the wall that had Sabine's paintings and stuff on it. And that was the one that really hooked me. And so then I had to go back and find,
Watch the whole
start from the beginning.
That's amazing. That's a good
I
episode
love
to
that.
start with. Parrots Heroes.
Mm-hmm.
thing. Yeah.
That's good. What about
Yeah,
you,
if-
Skip? What was your first exposure to Rebels?
Disney Plus brought me Rebels, so I mean, you can
Really?
tell how
Yay.
late in the game I was. I had remembered. I don't remember seeing the Rebels commercials, but I do remember seeing commercials for Clone Wars all the time, and didn't get into either one of them. I have been known to say that the last couple episodes of season 7 of Clone Wars is probably some of the best Star Wars animation or live action
Mhm.
out there.
Agreed.
It's
Yeah.
a
It was
Not that Rebels. I actually like Rebels better as a series, but there are moments in Clone Wars that are just. I mean, that whole last 2 episodes was
The last 4, that should have been on the big screen.
Yeah.
I would love to see that on the big screen.
Now I will tell you that my stepson Jacob took. I have like a what is it? God, I'm trying to remember how long. It's like 5 hours, and it is it's Revenge of the Sith.
Episode
And
3 and the last 4. My husband did the same thing.
And he
Oh,
mixed,
no
but no,
way.
he mixed in Rebels, and you go from scene to scene. It's like he had them lined up and was going, okay, let's do live action. Or I think it starts off with Clone Wars, then it goes to Rebels, then it goes to live action,
Chronological.
and it's seamless. You don't. It's like just a change of a scene, and all of a sudden I got 5 hours of it, and it's just like.
That's
Wow.
good.
Yeah.
That's serious.
And he spent
Yeah.
probably 20 hours putting this thing together for me, and it's on a HD drive, on the back of my
I love
TV,
it.
so I can flip over to that source and watch it whenever I want to. But it's like, holy crap, 5 hours!
A watch party next time we come to your house.
There you
Yeah,
go.
Right?
Yeah, we'll
Right?
watch
I like
that.
that plan. I like
Yeah,
that plan.
everybody will
That'll
be
be
like,
the quiet room.
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
quite rude.
Jeff, what about you? What was your first exposure to Rebels?
So I had been a big fan of the Clone Wars series since the micro series. And so when they moved, I was sort of skeptical at first when they're like, oh, we're going to do it again.
Me too.
But-
Yeah.
Mhm.
In a new format or whatever, away from what the micro series, which was very Samurai Jack style, because Genndy
Yeah.
Tartakovsky.
Mhm.
So I was very familiar with all of that, and then I was like, oh, the character designs kind of were a little off-putting to me to begin with. I felt it was very much like a more of a kids themed or geared series, but I think I watched a few episodes at first, but then I remember also at like Celebration Anaheim in 2015, there was some serious like in park style characters that Disney had brought out. I think they were actual cast members in like full on,
The
ghost
masks
crew,
and everything.
like full like heads as opposed to just masks, and like the
Right.
outfits were very accurate to the show. And I think that maybe gave me a little bit more interest in seeing what was going on with it, get like that weird connection. But then, I'm always sort of investigating whatever the new Star Wars property is, regardless if I get fully invested or not. So I was definitely keeping an eye on it.
Oh yeah,
And,
I'm much more careful with that. So
I think I may have missed a season in my first watching, like sort of strayed away from it, like maybe towards the end. But I've corrected that since then.
yeah.
Definitely.
I started watching Rebels right from the start. I didn't watch Clone Wars, but I was like, okay, well, I missed so much in Clone Wars. This is a show starting right from ground
Yeah.
zero.
Oh.
So let's see where it goes. And like by episode 3, with like Zeb and Ezra fighting and the Mailu Run chase, it's just, I was hooked, and I'm like, oh, this is fun. Like I like this, and just the snark and Hera like telling off Kanan as they're trying to fly the ship through the blockades. It's just, honestly, like
I
it
agree.
pulled me in, and then
Chopper killing everybody.
Chopper especially, like instantly, like I was like, this droid has so much personality. I haven't seen this side of R2, and it just kept going. And it honestly, having Jedi Knight end where it ended, it just completely destroyed me. And I realized then, like, I was so invested in these characters, and you don't even think they're gonna die, because it's a cartoon. You don't think anybody in a cartoon is gonna,
Yeah,
they're
so they're
not
not like
gonna
a
go that way.
main character, right?
Unless
Like,
it's a bad
God,
guy.
Expect
Yeah.
one, please.
Bad-
Yeah.
Bad guys always die. It's fine. The Inquisitor, we don't even talk about you. But this is just something that changed the game for me, and I just realized how emotionally invested I was in these characters, and I'm like, oh my god, no! Like, you don't see them in A New Hope. You don't see them in the future. What happens? What happens to these characters? And they've somehow kind of managed, as Mark says, Forrest Gump them into the rest of Star Wars. So that's
They
cool,
have,
and
yeah.
I appreciate that. But I'm just so glad I got those, and I didn't get to go to Disney during that time. They weren't really like having it be in the parks when I went in 2015, which is sad, because Star Wars weekends kind of had like the Ultimate Rebels thing going on when it was there.
Yeah, they did.
So, but it was just fun to have something start at ground zero for me and just kind of become my whole Star Wars life.
I love that. Yeah.
So yeah, we've had a pretty busy 100 episodes.
Yep.
We really have.
It's been a good time.
Yeah. So we're gonna.
A few more to go.
We got a few more to go. Yep, definitely. Before we start Clone Wars Revisited, and before anybody says that, and I know this has been going around a lot, but before anybody says that, oh, it's animation, I'm not really like into it, and nobody. Here's a good example of how important animation is. Hot Toys dropped an extremely limited Hot Toys figure of Mandalorian armor Obi-Wan from the episode of the Clone Wars where we know, that episode of the Clone Wars, and it's just, everyone's like, oh, it's kit bashing. They just put Obi-Wan's head in Mando armor to just sell figures, and I'm like, none of you have watched Clone Wars. It is one of the most formative episodes and one of the most important things in Obi-Wan Kenobi's existence.
Yep.
And you don't know what it is. You just accuse it of being made up to sell figures. And I was so happy to see some people in the comments section and that just to like explain animation is important. You really need to watch this. And I see it.
Parts of the story.
Exactly. And
that's when they start breaking down Boba Fett's story, right? Like to get all the way to the chain code and the explanation of what happened in Mando and Book of Boba Fett. That's where it all started, was in Clone Wars. Like we wouldn't have gotten any of this stuff if it hadn't been for that.
I remember though, from like as far back as back to Clone Wars, the micro series actually gave you background info on like Grievous a little bit.
Yeah.
Yes.
As to why he had his wheeze.
He had the cough and everything because it was
if you
Mace,
didn't watch
right?
those 3-minute episodes, you still were missing a piece of the puzzle in that prequel trilogy, which was I had to tell like a coworker, you should watch these micro series episodes because you'll get a better understanding for that character.
They were commercial breaks on Cartoon Network, like literally commercial breaks.
3 minutes.
So into it, and then it'd be done, and I'd be like,
2 minutes or whatever it was.
I had to buy the DVDs because it went by so fast. I was like,
really
I have to own these and rewatch them because that was way too fast.
And then watch them in that like succession. You can't.
Well, see, I bought them the DVDs, not realizing it was the micro series and not the other.
Oh, really?
That's funny. But that's still awesome because that's like a collector's item now.
Yeah, so I was kind of surprised. It's
You're
like,
ahead of the
this
curve.
Is something different.
Yeah. And
that's my favorite. That's my. Oh, she is. Gosh, yeah. That's my favorite quote. It's a meme about you can't describe the entire prequel era in one phrase, and then it's just Obi-Wan and Anakin is looking at her going, "Calm down, Anakin."
Yeah, exactly.
That's going to be my comment in the chat for all of Clone Wars Revisited. Calm down, Anakin.
Especially when he starts doing crazy stuff. Calm down, Anakin.
Yes,
got it.
Yes, yeah. And that James Arnold Taylor voice. Calm down, Anakin.
No, I love James Arthur.
Arnold Taylor. He was at the con I was at too, but I didn't see their panel. That was yesterday. I didn't get to go to that.
Ontario, Canada, or Ontario, California.
California, yeah, very far from Ontario.
I saw a whole behind the scenes thing where Vanessa is in there with Ashley and Matt and James. Yeah,
they had their tables like right and sort of back to back.
That's cool.
Yeah, they had pictures of each other next to each other, so it was Dee and Taylor and Vanessa and Ashley, Matt, and James.
Nice.
Yay. Nice. David says what we are going toward in Ahsoka started in and Bad Batch started there as well. So
it did.
Yeah.
A lot going on. And that's why I'm like, Dave, don't tell people not to watch Rebels to get Ahsoka. Please don't tell them not to watch that. And I know you want people to like actually watch your show and not spend time playing catch up first, but that just stressed me out so much because I'm like, they're not going to know about this unless they watch that show.
You should probably watch it as opposed.
I think that's a lot of pressure from the top down. Yeah, absolutely. And that's why I feel bad for people, especially those who were telling stories and writing things before the corporate buyout or the sell. Mm-hmm. I guess different people being in different places have different priorities. And but what are you going to do? Walk away? Stop telling the stories? Abandon the characters you created? You kind of got to walk that line. So
definitely. Yep.
But I think he said I'd recommend Rebels, but you don't have to. like, recommendation, yeah, but it's not a prequel necessarily. Which again was a frustration in mine, is having them rehash and retell the story. And I'm like, if you just watch Rebels, think about how much more Ahsoka content we'd gotten if you didn't have to tell the backstory.
Yeah.
Still good though.
Still good. But again, I just wanted to thank everybody in the chat and all of you for joining us tonight for our 100th episode. I'm sorry that Mark couldn't be here, but he's here in spirit. And, once he gets done with the slot machines.
Bring us back to the
work. The word.
And wait till he sees how long we've gone.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's going to be like an hour and a half. Oh my God. I have things to do. I can't watch.
There were 5 of us. We had a lot to say.
Yeah.
It's 100. Well, look at it this way. It's the 100th episode. We need to do 100 minutes.
A minute an episode.
Extended episode.
Yeah. But we have a lot going on the VCN this week as well. So we got the happy hour on Tuesday in the Zoom chat. You guys are seasoned pros in that happy hour Zoom chat. So I love it.
Big old time. We get into all kind of shenanigans on Tuesday.
Absolutely.
All kinds.
Like, the parking
and
thing.
you can come in at 7 and be finished at 8. You can come in at 8 and finish at 10. You can come in at 7 and be there until 11.
Oh yeah.
I think we were there till midnight last week.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
They wore me out. I had to bail. I was like, okay, Jack, I'm out.
We've done sessions where it was 4 p.m. my time until midnight. My time.
Oh my goodness.
Whoa.
But that was during the pandemic. So
I understand.
It's a little bit different vibe where you're willing to sit in a Zoom call for 8 hours.
It really is. It goes by so fast.
And Mike will tell
Mike,
you.
don't
do
bring up
No,
that
Mike.
no
No,
popcorn.
Yeah,
Nope.
Popcorn.
Don't
What are you
do it.
talking
I don't
about?
want to
It's
see that bucket.
It's a
Stop it.
sarlacc.
yeah. Yeah, it's exactly. He's got his
talking
Boba
about?
Fett perched on it.
Yeah, he's
but-
got his Boba Fett that he puts into the Dune popcorn
That's
bucket.
that's
And holds
a
it
whole
up
nother-
to Jabba's skiff.
Yeah.
This is a family-friendly show, people. We don't
They
talk
fit
about
well
that kind of
together.
stuff on this show.
After
But
9
in the
o'clock
Zoom chat,
on
yes, we do.
Tuesdays.
On the
all-
Zoom chat, but not here. Let's
Yeah,
let's
that's
zoom it up.
little different.
no taboo there.
So, getting back to our schedule for this week, Wednesday we have the Nerf Herder Council, and did they
They're-
give you? Okay, go ahead, Jeff.
They're doing what is it? It's is it Rise of Skywalker? Hold on one second.
Oh, that will be fun.
They're doing a battle royale because it's something that the brothers have very differing opinions on.
Hmm.
Love poking the bear on the Nerf Herder
Of course,
Council.
I
That's a
can't find
blast.
the chat when I'm searching for it.
Yeah,
Yeah, just mention Purgles to him.
I'll
Yeah,
go
yeah,
Nerf
that's-
Herder and I'll be like, okay,
Oh, here we
I
go.
just gotta say a couple words.
Yeah, so it's a Rise of Skywalker battle royale. So
Yeah.
they're going to be
David says, brother versus
very-
brother.
yeah. So they're going to be very
Uh-oh.
bring
Oh, I don't think I have the stomach for that.
I just want to see which one I'm siding with.
right.
I thought there was only one side. Oops, sorry.
They may
Sorry,
have
this is
compelling-
angering you, Sarah.
Did I say that out loud? I'm sorry.
Don't get Spencer and I started.
The dark side.
So
Thursday
weird.
night we have the VCN watch along where we'll be covering the Phantom Menace and
Yes.
watching along the Phantom Menace with some special guest hosts.
Very timely. Yesterday was the 25th anniversary of the
Ugh.
theatrical release of The Phantom Menace.
I
That
was
makes me feel so old.
I was
Mhm.
16 years old when that movie came out.
I was standing in line in Westwood.
Ashley,
Uh,
I went to see A New Hope in 1977.
well, me too. But
Same here,
99,
I was 17 when I
Yeah,
saw A New
I was
Hope.
8.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anyways, I was standing in Westwood waiting to see the second screening of the Phantom Menace after all the lining up people got the first showing at midnight. Back when it was a midnight showing, none of this
Yeah.
7 p.m. stuff.
That's only within the
and-
last 15, 20 years that they've changed
So,
it to that.
Yeah, I was in line at midnight for a 3 p.m. or 3 a.m. showing. Sorry.
Mm.
Oh,
So-
dang.
My first viewing was 3 a.m. to 5:30 a.m.
Oh my.
and then I got to go to work at 7:30. It was an interesting night.
It was
So,
a coffee night for you, man.
yeah.
Jeez.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, but it was.
Or not coffee, but
I think I ended up seeing it probably 3 or 4 more times over the next few days because it was the weekend that it was released.
I
I
honestly
saw it
didn't
6
see it.
times in the theater.
I saw
Damn.
7 in the theater on the original theatrical run, and I just saw 2 more in the theater last.
You
I
guys
was
are
living
like-
in Enid, Oklahoma. There was nothing else to do. It was boring. It was terrible.
That's absolutely so cool. I didn't get to see it on the big screen until last week. So
Oh,
I just
shoot.
Oh,
yeah, so
wow.
I had the DVD and I watched that, but I just remember my Uncle Ray, my dad's kid brother, just buying up all the toys. I had like the lightsaber battle banks. I had like
Oh wow.
the pinball, like the tabletop pinball machine. I had figures up the wazoo because this man was just like, we got to buy all this merch. And he was a big kid like me. This is my dad's side of the family being the collector guy instead of my mom's brother on my mom's side. And I just got so much Phantom Menace stuff. And I'm like, I haven't even seen this movie. I don't know who these people are. I know Obi-Wan Kenobi because I saw the first one, but geez, like it's just a lot.
Mhm.
Yep.
But
A lot,
to
lot.
like see it on the big screen last week, it was just incredible. Like the scene, you know what I'm talking about, is
I
just
know.
even more
Yeah.
gut wrenching, no pun intended,
Yep.
on the big screen.
And the way they keep switching from the different things that are going on. It's just
Yeah.
like from the Gungans, battling the droids to the Queen battling. I can't even remember who they're trying to get away from, and then
Yeah.
to Obi-Wan and Darth Maul and Qui-Gon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a crazy stack. So we'll be watching that on Thursday with the usual suspects and some
I think
guest
there
hosts.
might be some special guests, possibly, maybe less of the usual suspects and more of others. I'm not exactly positive. It's been
Yeah.
very sort of ambiguous in terms of the information
Spencer
I've been
just has
given.
special guests in the chat, so
Okay.
I think he's choosing to remain ambiguous about it. So,
So that'll be interesting.
Look
Yeah,
if we're right,
tune in
Spencer.
to see who will be here. Whether or not that's announced in the next day or two, we'll see. But yeah, tune in to see who will be here.
Yeah.
Watch with them.
Definitely. That's at 9:30 on Thursday night. Yep. And Sunday is going to be the unifying force with Dave, Gio, and Katz, covering some cool stuff this week as usual.
What are they doing?
We're just gonna check what they're doing. And Spencer says, "No, I am very ambiguous."
Little US.
You ambiguous.
History of the Sith. They're doing a preparation, sort of a primer for the Acolyte.
Oh, nice.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so we're getting into Acolyte season, so we're
It's
gonna get
very
more of that.
timely for
I'm
that.
excited.
Acolytes only. Again, that's 2 weeks out as well, right? What, 2 days before the anniversary of this show?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
I think I'm more excited for Acolyte than I was for Ahsoka.
yeah, it seems very different and cool.
And I'm
But
just
also,
Yeah, to
I'm
me
ready
it
for
seems more
badass.
Andor-like than Ahsoka-like.
gonna have a lot of space wizards.
yes,
Lots
lots
That's
of
true.
mystery, lots of intrigue. And on Rebels Revisited next week, we're gonna do our Best of Hera episode finally.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be talking about our girl Harrison Dula in place of Memorial Day. So we won't have a live show, but we hope you guys just get to join us in the chat and discuss, because I'll be there. I don't really do the holiday thing that much, so join me in the chat.
Memorial Day is usually like a daytime.
Yeah,
Yeah.
barbecue thing, and
So
Right.
I'll be
Go to
around.
the
soothe your
pool.
dog from the fireworks.
Not going anywhere. I will be right here.
Yeah.
there you go.
Me
We'll all be
too.
in
In
the chat.
Sherry's
Yeah.
bedroom.
Family show, Skip. Family show.
Is my robe still hanging up there?
Oh, I think Bridget took it and cleaned it.
Oh.
Oh, there you go.
It's getting dusty.
Yeah, it's been too long. Well, thank you again so much for joining us this week. And we've had a massive supersized show and so many great guests and all of you in the chat. It's been so much fun. So thank you again. I love you
We'll get
guys.
2
Thank
more
you for
minutes to
having
make
us.
it to
It's been so
100.
fun.
Yes.
2 more minutes?
Thanks
Oh,
for-
are we going to just gossip
If we
for the
make
last
it to
3 minutes?
2 more minutes, we will made it for our 100th show 100 minutes.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Okay,
right
so we
on
have
the
to aim
cusp
for that.
of that.
Well, I'll have to say, I'm going to have to do semi-quote from the 1-year anniversary show. I'm not sure if it was you, Ashley, or Mark, or maybe it was a combination. How you said we all started out as fans, and we became friends, and then we became family, and we're all fans again, and just made a full circle. And I thought that was very touching when I watched that,
Aw,
I love that.
Very cool.
thank you.
because I do
Sherry.
think that a lot of the people in our group do think of them as family.
We don't call it family vacation for nothing.
Oh, yeah.
And speaking of which, yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. So definitely if you get a chance to join us for any
Oh,
of
did
the
we forget
events.
to talk about the vacation?
Yeah, we didn't
Oh,
really.
We
We did a little.
Oh, my God. So we can throw that
We
out.
talked
real
about
quick.
going to the movies. No, we didn't talk about the movies. I think we covered
Yeah,
it.
We did.
that's
We
true.
did.
Covered the
Talked about that,
movies,
yeah.
but you didn't cover all the guests. And there's
All the
been
Boon to
some
Eve
There's a
special
million of them.
editions. Yeah.
We'll just talk about the most recent guests.
Yeah, we'll do the most recent ones.
So for the San Francisco event at Ireland's, the creators of the Star Wars universe, our most recent announcement was C. Andrew Nelson, who portrayed Vader in mainly the 90s and early 2000s in a lot of promotional and video game type stuff.
Okay. Cool.
That's so
We
cool.
also announced for Boonta Eve Galaxy's Most Wanted at Biggs. Our most recent announcement was Margot Apostolos, the second of our lovely Ewoks from Return of the Jedi that will be in attendance. And then for the premiere event, the overly packed event, Heroes of the Filoniverse at Scum and Villainy Cantina, which serves double duty as being at Scum and Villainy Cantina, first of all, and then having a gajillion guests involved. Our final announcement for that event is Tate Fletcher, heavy gunner, Paz Vizsla, Alpha Trawler himself. So
he went out on a big
gonna
note.
be amazing,
amazing.
amazing time seeing him and the rest of the guests. And there's a whole slew of them. That Heroes of the Filoniverse is packed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So make sure you guys go to the Scum and Villainy Cantina on the family vacation. There's so many of you joining us for that. So
Drop by.
it's gonna be a party. I'm telling you. Get those
Lots of
cast
fun.
pieces.
Don't be scared to be there.
That'll be easy to do at that event. So.
Oh, and Spencer said Emily even plugged it, so that's really cool.
Oh yeah,
Understood.
Emily retweeted one of Scooby's reels, which is awesome. Or not retweet, Instagram, regram,
Reeled it. Is that,
reeled it.
is that a
Sure,
word?
whatever. That sounds good enough.
Yeah.
Spieled it.
But
Something.
on that note,
She did it. It's out there.
she helped get the word out. So
Oh, that's gonna be so fun. Yeah, I'm excited for you guys. The FOMO is real. So
and it'll
We're going to miss
intensify.
you, Ashley.
yeah, I'll just live vicariously through all of you. So make sure you're posting lots of pictures.
We'll do lots of lives.
Yeah,
All right.
and mostly of John trying to get another Kybo crystal. So that'd be
We
Yeah,
want
that'll be
those.
part of
Yep.
it. That'll
We
be a
want
running narrative, I'm sure.
Mhm.
So,
well. Again, thank you
On that
guys so
note.
much. We've officially hit 100.
100 episodes.
For our
Yes.
100th
Woo!
episode. Thanks Skip for that. And yeah, honestly, thank you guys so much. We are a family and we're a found family. Like it's best in Star Wars. And I
That's
really
right.
appreciate you all. Oh, Ashley TV. Oh God, Spencer, no.
All
thank-
Ashley, all the time.
yeah, not just Skip.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Skip, I'll be like, Skip, get on here. Get on the live stream. Well,
Yes,
thank
on
you
that note.
all. And may the force
Thanks,
be
everyone.
with you.
May the force be with
Force
you.
be with
May the force be with you.
always.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.